Hello everyone and welcome back to Complete and Total Random. Today we're going to be going over the common controls for War Thunder. Now if you don't understand what I mean, there is a couple different sets of controls in the options. I know it's quite overwhelming, so I'm going to break it down piece by piece. I'm going to do common first, then ground, maybe, and then aircraft after. And then I'll probably get into naval and helicopters later. If people really want, I can also do one on how the spectator camera works. But that's only if you guys want me to. For now, we're going to start with the basics. So, we have tactical map. All that does, it just brings up the map. If you're in a match, it'll also show you all of your tanks up top, as well as how many spawn points you have left in realistic, as well as your in sim, as well as the tanks that are still available to you in your lineup, and the amount of spawns you have left in arcade. Statistics. This one. All this does is it just brings up a page. It just brings up the page showing everyone's stats. So it just shows the amount of kill deaths rate that everyone has and the amount of tickets still left in the battle. All tickets are is the amount of points that a team needs to acquire before the enemy team is defeated. Now, I'm going to keep kind of hopping between this. Your multi-function menu. This one's actually quite interesting and is quite useful. So what this does is it allows you to actually go through and do most of the more complicated controls condensed into one. Multiple different things. So you can see your radar and IRST. That's only for vehicles with that. Same with your fire control systems. That's only for vehicles with fire control systems. Mobility lets you turn on and off your engine. It lets you change your transmission mode. This I believe only works if you have manual transmissions enabled. It also allows you to lower dozer blades. I'll show you that once we get to the entrenching part of the controls. There are actually quite a lot of controls. That's why it gives me a warning every time I exit, is because there's some controls that I've gotten rid of because I don't care. X-ray. All that does, it shows the internals of your tank. If you hold the button down, this can be quite useful. If you're not sure what's broken, you can take a look at your tank and it'll show you in red whatever's broken and black, or red whatever's damaged, yellow's damaged, and black is broken. It also will show you which crew members are injured, and it can be very helpful in determining where you got hit and if you should repair or not. And all that stuff also appears in the bottom left corner on your tank, but sometimes it's a little bit easier just to look through it like this and can give you a better idea of what's broken. Now, let's get on to the next thing. Lock target. All that does is when you click your middle mouse button, while viewing a target, it'll basically just keep guiding your barrel towards that target. And this just lets you change lock targets. Chat. All that does is open up chat, allowing you to talk to people. These are just switches to change which chat you're talking to. So general is both teams. Team chat is just the people on your team. And squad is whoever's in your party with you. Whoever you're playing with at the moment. So if you have friends online that you're playing with, you can message them through chat. Push to talk is for if you have a microphone enabled. You can talk to your friends. Set target for squad. This is one that I recommend most people add. If I go in Now it works, let's see. Okay then. Let us return to Hangar real quick so we can open up a mission. Just so I can show you what this does. This is one of the most useful controls in game because it allows you to designate directions, and it's a very visual way of showing what's going on in the game to your friends and allowing you to show everyone where targets are. It helps with your squad. Only your squad mates can see it, so there is that issue. And then it in arcade and realistic, you'll be able to see a visual marker pointing to the exact point that you targeted. But in Sim, it only places a marker on the map. This can be used in conjunction with other controls, like artillery, and make it easier to call in artillery. As well as it can make it really easy to designate where targets are to your teammates. Because instead of trying to guess where something is on the map, which you can do just by holding M and clicking, you can go in and designate a target for squad. Okay, 1 second. My controls seem to have broken. I need to get a new keyboard. Sorry about this. Let's add another button. Okay, then. Oh. Yeah, why is this not working? They may have removed... Come on. As you can see, sometimes it's very hard to find a key binding that's not being used for anything. There we go. Okay then, I don't know if I'm going to be able to demonstrate this because it appears like they have maybe changed how this works. Okay, so yeah, it'll only work if you're in the squad now by the looks of it, which sucks. But it'll allow you to show your teammates who you're playing with online where targets are. Now, next you have artillery. So let me J out of my current vehicle here. Or I guess I can... Returning to hangars probably quicker. Obviously, this only works with vehicles that have artillery. So let's switch to one of those. Now, we will switch to... If I can find something. No, I need something that I've unlocked artillery in. Okay. So, there's actually two modes. A lot of people don't realize that there is a second artillery mode. So obviously, you have your basic, where you hit 5 and you designate on the map. But, if you designate like this, you can actually physically pick where the artillery lands. So you can kind of just aim it at a target, and then as you see, it'll come down. This can be quite useful if you're not quite sure the range, and you want to hit a very specific target. It can be very useful for that. And of course, the better your crew is, the more accurate it's going to be. So with really high level crews, it can be extremely good at just wiping out some open-topped vehicle. As you can see, I pointed at this guy, so it's spawning around him. And bam, yeah, took him out with artillery. Because the artillery was designated right on top of him, as opposed to kind of guessing where he was. Okay, returning back to the common controls. So that's our artillery aiming. Your user interface. some of these controls are bugged out. From what so for skipping cutscenes, what that refers to is anytime you die, the kill cam, if you hit space, it'll skip it. You can also hide your HUD if you want in battle. I don't really do it often because it kind of is a pain if you realize you're out of ammo because you hadn't been checking, and it can make it a pain to figure out what's broken. But sometimes I do if I just am chillaxing playing an AA cannon or something. Screenshot just takes a screenshot in battle. Collapse and expand action bar. So a lot of the times you'll see in battle I have it like this. What you can do is if you designate a keybind, that opens and closes this, as well as if you hold it, the little panel goes away completely. Now let's return back down. So your mouse cursor, it just allows you to pull out your mouse cursor. So if I hold Alt, it pulls out my mouse cursor. It goes away if I let go, but it can actually let me hold my mouse over stuff to see information about it. Sadly, you can't just hold your mouse over enemy tanks to tell you anything, but you can see what things do. It's great if you're not really sure how things work. You can always scroll over them. Now, there is some more control. Let's see what other controls we can go over here. For interface, down here is our decal rotation. So I'll show you that real quick. But essentially, decal rotation, this allows you to rotate the decals, and decal scale lets you change the size. So let's say I wanted to place a decal on my tank. So let me grab a tank that I don't have any decals placed on so I don't mess up my decals. And let's say I want to put this decal on the tank. So of course you can change the scale with one button, and then you can change the rotation with another. And then it's just using your scroll wheel to either rotate the decal or to change the scale of the decal. Decals used to have unlimited size, but now, because some people had to make things weird, because it's always a small handful of people acting weird that changes for everyone. You can't make tanks that are just a giant American flag anymore, which I kind of miss because I found it kind of funny. Seeing just a tank that's just an American flag or just a giant red dot or something were always quite interesting and funny to look at. So we have some more controls. Mouse smoothing just means that it stops your mouse from jumping around. Aim sensitivity, camera look speed, all of this just affects how fast your turret or how fast everything rotates when you move your mouse. You can add a button to zoom camera. All that does. So I don't have that set, but I know a lot of people who do have it set. And the main reason for that is to zoom in. Now, a lot of people will essentially use their scroll wheel for other things, but I like using it to zoom in. So I can zoom in and out. It works better on certain tanks, like higher tier vehicles have a lot more zoom, so you can use that to zoom in and out, get a better target picture. And then you can just use a button for that and it'll pull it all the way forward and zoom it all the way in. These controls just allow you to rotate the view in the hangar just by holding down a button. Same with zoom and hangar. I just have it set to my mouse wheel so I can zoom in and out. That's how I'm able to zoom in and out on details on vehicles when I'm showing them to you guys. Radio messages to team. So basically this allows you to communicate with your team. This is how you say sorry for when you inevitably accidentally team kill. And essentially what this allows you to do, you can... Okay, so that side of my keyboard does not want to work today. But essentially it allows you to bring up another multifunction menu, which allows you to chat with people, like say things to people. Now let's see. And then there's quick radio messages, so you can just set individual things like sorry, or thank you, or defend the D point. And you can just select those to whichever button you want. I don't do most of the stuff with chat just because there's so many key bindings already. I do wish War Thunder would have a little keyboard somewhere that would highlight every keyboard, like every key that you have bound, so it would make it a little bit easier when trying to set up your maze of key bindings. Now, you don't need all the key bindings right away. You can just, as you need them, slowly add them in. These are for just if you're adding head tracking for War Thunder, like if you're using your VR. But that doesn't really matter unless you're using a VR headset. The ones that I would say are the most useful. Oh, and then leave vehicle. I almost forgot. All leave vehicle does is destroy your vehicle. It'll give whoever got like the most damage off on you recently the kill, and other people get assists for it. It does count as dying in the vehicle, so you will lose points for it and all that. But you can do it if, let's say, you're stuck somewhere and can't get out and nobody else can get you out. Sometimes you just have to J out. And yeah. Ain't that a wallpaper? Now, the other ones that I would recommend would be your artillery strike. If you play medium, like anytime you're playing medium or light tanks or AA, you'll want this for calling in artillery. Artillery is extremely useful, and you want to keep that on there. X-ray not really is necessary. I'd recommend tactical map over it if you have to choose one. Radio messages are nice, but I wouldn't really recommend them. And then if you play with your friends a lot, I would recommend getting your set target for squad set up. It doesn't seem like it wants to work for me today. I wish I could show you what it does, but it does not want to work. You know, maybe I'll try one more time. See if this can get this working for you. Nope. But I hope that was helpful. This is going to be part 1 of a multi-part series. I'm going to go and do ground vehicles next. And yeah, if you guys have any questions in the comments, let me know. I can hopefully help you guys figure out some of these controls. I honestly don't know all of them myself, because there's certain parts of the game that I don't play enough to really figure out what the controls do. And honestly, it is quite hard to find tutorials on what certain controls do. But I'd like to thank you all for watching.